Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's me, Sanitary 103. So, I don't know if you've heard, but about a week ago, McDonald's had an outbreak, an intestinal illness outbreak from eating salads, and these issues are getting worse. And it's an article I wanted to share with you. I'm going to briefly read it and then give you my outlook and perspective on this article, and also give you my overall opinion on fast food in general, so you might want to stick around. So the title of this article is McDonald's Salad Outbreak Widens to 9 States. An outbreak of intestinal illness linked to eating salads for McDonald's is widening. A week after health officials first alerted the public, the count of cases tied to the Cyclospora parasite has increased to 163 people, 3 of them hospitalized, and now includes residents from 10 states. Health officials are investigating this illness associated with McDonald's locations in 9 states, including Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, Ohio, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. It appears to be pretty much the Midwest. A Florida resident also became ill after purchasing a salad while traveling in Kentucky. The FDA is working with McDonald's to identify the ingredients that have made people sick and to trace back those ingredients through the supply chain. Transmitted in foods tainted by fecal matter. Oh, that sounds so disgusting. Cyclospora can cause stomach cramps, nausea, and flu-like symptoms a week or more after someone consumes food or liquid contaminated with the parasite. Bear with me, almost done. The outbreak, first reported in Illinois and Iowa, prompted the fast food chain to temporarily stop selling salads at the restaurants identified as possible sites of the contamination. The company also said it was switching lettuce suppliers. As of July 13, McDonald's has decided to stop selling the salads at restaurants in 14 states by the FDA, and they are pretty much all throughout the Midwest. I'm going to spare you those states. The additional states identified by the FDA and CDC, which stands for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, are among the same states where a week ago we proactively decided to remove our lettuce blend in impacted restaurants and replace it through a different supplier, McDonald's said Friday in a statement. Separately, the CDC says 78 people in 4 states, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin, have been sickened by Cyclospora, linked to now recalled Del Monte fresh produce vegetable trays. So, wow, this is not good. If you are living in the Midwest, I 100% would not even risk that. You don't want to get this intestinal illness. I mean, who does? It's going to affect your health big time, and if you're not one of those states listed, you got to just be a little bit careful. So I'm not surprised by this whole outbreak with the fast food, with the salads. You kind of get what you pay for. Now, if you know me by now or even follow my channel, I'm not one to ever preach and push my agenda onto you. I simply give you my opinion. I recommend certain things, but it's ultimately up to you, the viewer, to decide what you want to do with the information I provide for you, what you want to keep, what you want to discard, etc., etc. With that being said, like I said, I'm not surprised with this outbreak occurring with McDonald's and in fast food in general, and that's simply because it's mass production. It's cheap. It's for the masses, and the more you produce in a larger quantity, it sacrifices the quality. You ever heard of that? It should be quality over quantity, but here it's quantity over quality. It's reversed. And yes, the FDA may inspect. I'm not going to get too much into it, but back in the day they would have more inspections, but because there's so many different fast food chains out there, you can only regulate so much. So back in the day, if you have that piece of meat on the meat patty on the conveyor belt, right, at the factory, and there's certain people that have jobs specifically to look for certain things, the way it smells, this and that, the more product you have, there's a better chance that something's going to be slipped through the cracks, and therefore something like this can happen. I don't know all the details with the salads, but this is not uncommon. The salad could get transferred and cross-contaminated with cow shit, basically. And this cross-contamination can also occur in ground beef. If there are a few fast food, I shouldn't say products, but types of foods that you want to avoid, even if you still are going to eat fast food. For one, the produce, the salads, those are a little bit risky, obviously, with this article. But what trumps that and what's above that is ground beef. Ground beef is, I will not eat ground beef from fast food joint. That's just me. Call me a diva, call me a hippie, call me whatever you want. I don't care. I've been called worse, but I'm just not going to do it. And if you don't remember back in the day, if you look it up, back in the 90s, I believe, Jack in the Box, a family went to Jack in the Box, and the kid had a hamburger, I think, and he died, unfortunately, and he was a young kid. They didn't even get a formal apology from Jack in the Box. Nothing. The poor mom was crying. And that's from contaminated meat, because ground beef, often it's from different cows, and you know, when it's massively produced, it can cross-contaminate with fecal matter, and you could get a lot of potential life-threatening illnesses. And I'm not trying to instill fear and tell you once again that never eat fast food, because I do eat it from time to time. But if the majority of your diet is from fast food, you get what you pay for. And, you know, who knows? Maybe you have a better chance getting hit by a car. Maybe you have a better chance, you know, yada yada, drowning. That's fine. But if you know, or if you have other options to eat at home, I probably would advise doing that first. But backtracking on just real quick, I know this video's getting a little bit long. I told you that ground beef and salads, those produce, those are the types of stuff you want to avoid. If you are going to eat the fast food, like the french fries, the desserts, I think for the most part, I would think you're going to be okay. Chicken, it is going to be pumped with hormones, but I think you're going to be a little bit safer. But the ground beef and the produce, you might want to steer clear. So anyways, that is my time for this video. I want to get your guys and gals' quick opinion on this matter. Do these types of outbreaks scare you? Do they deter you from eating fast food? And two, or I should have said that first, do you eat fast food? And if you do, does this type of article scare you? Does it change how you perceive fast food? That's my time, guys. If it doesn't get too long, let me know what you guys and gals think, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.